Hello, welcome to episode number 15, lesson 15 of Learn to Read with Bruce. Today, obviously, we're starting with the piano instead of the guitar, and we're going to do another Beatles tune, our second Beatles tune, this one written by Lennon and McCartney. And while you're listening to it and reading along, I'd like you to try to see if you can identify the theme of this particular song. It's kind of obvious, because when you're reading, it's nice to look for what the theme is. The theme is the meaning or the message that the author is trying to send you to get you to get inside your head. So with no further ado, we'll go ahead and start the song. Kevin is going to be pointing to the words as we go. Dedicate this one to my good friend Kelly Van Devender, who I used to teach with here at Elkins Middle School. It's one of her favorites. In fact, on my last day of work last year, we played it down in the cafeteria for the kids, and she was one of several teachers who sang along and danced to it too. So here we go with Let It Be. Get on the words there, Jim?
Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Of course, I want to thank my good friend Annette Sams for the use of her piano. The piano that Jason Baker gave to me, I gave to Kelly Van Devender, and Kelly gave it to Annette last year. So appreciate having the use of the piano. If you identified the theme as 3 words, let it be, you got it. That's certainly the main idea. This song was repeated over and over and over again. I think one of the better songs ever written by anybody. And Kevin, if you go ahead and put up our next sheet, we'll show everybody the units and the instant words. By the way, this is the last time I'm going to do this. This is 15 or so different songs. I think I've made my point by now of the utility of the units and the instant words. Almost the entire title is all instant words. We have some units here and instant words. The names John and Paul don't contain any units, but Lennon has an N and McCartney has an art. So the whole first verse, you've got about maybe half a dozen words. Myself, wisdom 3 times, our, trouble, Mary in front are the only ones that you shouldn't be able to decode yourself. Everything else has either units or is an instant word or both. Like, for example, when has an N, but it's also an instant word. Second verse, there's only 2 words that aren't immediately identifiable. wisdom, and though. Though is probably the toughest word in the whole song for a beginning reader. Can we go ahead and slide up, Kevin? Last verse again, very few things. Shine and shines, don't have anything in them that we can use. Cloudy, the name Mary, and there's wisdom again. So almost the entire song is very, very readable to you if you've been staying with us, doing your exercises, practicing your instant words, and studying and learning your Caldwell units. You're all set. So, like I said, that's the last time we're going to see one of these. I'll continue with the songs, but I'm not going to be doing this anymore. So, you can go ahead and slide that off, Kevin. Now it's time for the unit song, which we've been doing the last several lessons. Got to pull the guitar out here. And we'll go ahead and do that another time. Sing along or just say them along at home. Able, able, ack, ale, ale, ain, ache, and, art, Asian, a, can, cent. And here's our Ed Caldwell unit. Ed, e, l, n, end, ent, s, est, ick, ite, ike, il, ing, ip, ish, ist, o, ock, oi, old, or, ound, ow, oi, shun, ub, There they are, the 44 Caldwell units. They should be getting more and more familiar all the time for you now, to the point where you see it in a word and you know exactly what it sounds like and how to read it. Okay, let's take a look at our new units for today for lesson 15. Kevin's going to put up, we have a clearer page now. We might want to make the print a little bigger there. Let's see. Because we're on lesson 15, and if you can take some other pages and just kind of block that one off, Kevin, we're right here.
All right.
Okay. All right, there we go. And then maybe something below it.
All right.
If you have another sheet there, it'd be fine. Okay. So we've got new letter, Y, and then CY, a blend. Our units are art and S. We've only got 3 new sight words, and these are sight words we've already had, are and were, and the number 2. Okay? So these are all pretty simple. The trickiest thing probably is this CY sound. Now Y at the beginning of the word just sounds like yeah, like the word yellow. I like that word because it also has 2 Caldwell units, L and O, just with 1 single letter at the front, so yellow. At the end of the word, though, the Y sounds like the letter E usually. For example, if I said the sun has sort of a yellowy look to it, I can put a Y at the end, and we have yellowy. Let me make it clearer here. Starts with a Y, but ends with an E sound, so yellowy. I'm not even sure that's a word, but we're using it for now just to make clear the fact that Y at the end usually sounds like the letter E. So taking the word C, or the letter blend CY here, the C usually has kind of an S sound, so it's just like C. For instance, fancy. Girl's name, Nancy. So you got, it really just sounds like, actually like the letter C, because the letter C sounds like CE, okay? So keep that in mind. Y at the beginning is just yeah, like yelling. And at the end, it's going to sound like an E. So there's our letters and units. Let's go ahead and read a story. And I had something, too, that I wanted to read from Ed today also. Just a little bit from his, there it is. Okay. And this story brings us to the end of the third book. Book 3. So Book 3 will now be down in the Elkins Randolph Library after today for people to check out and practice with. And we'll be starting Book 4 in Lesson 16. So I think I need to probably make it a little small. How's that with your screen there, Jerry?
Yeah.
You good? Okay. The Mystery at the Party. And we're going to see most of all the old characters are coming back for this one because it kind of wraps up the whole 3 books. So, Ken said to Joan, "Ray certainly enjoyed his trip on the creek and lake yesterday. He seemed to be enjoying it more than we were," said Joan. "Can we take him boating on the weekend?" Ken said. "We can have a boating party for him," Joan answered. "We will need more than 3 days to plan for his party," Ken says. "May enjoy our Cracker Jacks at party planning." "They certainly are," Joan answered.
Push it up, Bruce.
Oh, I'm sorry. "They certainly are," Joan answered. "We can have a planning party this weekend. I will see May shortly, and she can tell Joy." By the way, I want to show you a page before I go on here that I haven't been doing, but Ed has these at the beginning of each lesson to help you find and say the units: artificial, department, heart, apartment, and startled. And there's your art in each word. Art, 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 and art. Then we have progress, message, lesson, carelessly, and essay. And here's your S unit in each one for you to pick out for all the words. I haven't done these because it's just one more thing and I'm trying to keep us within a reasonable time. But this is the opening page to a lesson. And then Ed has sentences, sentences 2, and then review sentences with the units that you've done in them. So art and S is what we're looking at today, as I mentioned. Okay. How is Joy going to find out about planning the party is the first question. At the very end, Joan says, "I'll see May shortly," and she can tell Joy. Why do Ken and Joan want May and Joy to be at the planning party? Ken says, "May and Joy are Cracker Jacks at party planning." Cracker Jacks meaning, I guess, that they're pretty good at it. So there's the gang planning things. Joy and May are thrilled to join in planning a party for Ray. The 2 girls meet at the shed on the weekend and sail to the lake with Ken and Joan. They swim and have snacks and then start the planning. Joy says a party needs entertainment. Ken says a party needs plenty of snacks. May says a party has to have a mystery ending. Joan says the best party has to have entertainers, snacks, and a mystery ending. Let me check something here. Kevin, where's the sheet with the lessons on it there?
It's on there.
Okay. All right. Okay. Which of the 3, snacks, entertainment, and a mystery ending, do you think they will have at the party? I don't know about you, but I vote for all 3. Here they're still swimming. Got a lot more print on the page now. Ray enjoys singing, May said. We can have Artie Corliss and his band. And Bart Dresser and his smart singing hens, says Joan. We will need noisy party horns, Ken joined in. They want fancy candy, berry tarts, and cakes for snacks. They are certain Mr. Doran will make the snacks. Ken says he and Joan will make the mystery for the ending of the party. He talks to Joan, and they say they can have the party in 3 weeks. They will tell Ray they are planning a test trip for him. Joan says, Ray will be at the party with bells on. The party planners take one more swim and then sail back to the shed. Question 4 asks, what would you like most about the party? Well, for me it would be the snacks. What does Joan mean when she says Ray will be there with bells on? Well, that's one of those old idiomatic expressions. This means he'll be there ready to go, ready to roll, excited about it, can't wait. And there's, I think, Art Dresser with his singing chickens or something. The two girls, Joy and May, walk to the bakery to see Norm. Will you make the snacks for a boating party for Ray? May says. What snacks can I make? Candy, cakes, and tarts, Mr. Doran, Joy tells him. I can make candy, cakes, and tarts, and I have to make Danish for Ray, says Norm. Then they meet with Artie Corliss and Bart Dresser to plan the entertainment. Why does Norm say he has to make Ray some Danish? Well, I think that refers back to an earlier story when we had the story of the Danish. Next page doesn't have a lot of text. You have some onomatopoeia, bang, bang, hammer, drill, drill, the sounds from the shed. They're making something. Ken and Joan work many days in the corner of the shed. They are working on the mystery for the party. Here's a picture of a big boat going out to get ready for the party. The 3 weeks fly by. Joy takes a boat with Ken, Norm Doran, the entertainers, and the snacks on board to the lake. When they enter the lake, Joan swims to shore and walks back to the shed. Ken sails the boat to the shoals. There's a group of them out there on the boat. There's our old friend Hick, the bounding hound, by the way. Joan walks back by the creek bank to the shed. Then she takes a boat with Joy, Jack, Jill, May, and Hick on board and sails to the lake. May steers to Ken's boat by the shoals, and Joan swims to shore and walks back to the shed. Why does Joan keep jumping in the lake and swimming back to shore? Well, I guess we're just going to have to wait to find out. Might have something to do with the surprise. There's Ray on the boat asking a question about something under the blankets. Ray is at the shed resting. He wants to start the test trip. Joan takes Ray in a boat to the lake. The mystery from the corner of the shed is in the corner of the boat. The mystery has 2 layers of red sheets on it. What in the world is this? Says Ray, pointing to the red sheets. It's a mystery for the test trip, Ray, she tells him. What do you think's under the red sheets? There they are approaching the others. Joan sails on the lake to the party boats. Then Ken and the boaters yell, "You are at Ray's party!" "What?" Ray yelled back. "You are at Ray's boating party," they yelled back. There's some singing. Ow! Then they climbed on board the test boat. The Corliss band plays and Artie sings. Then when the band plays, Ray sings. Hick wails and wails. Yeah, we know how Hick feels about Ray singing from the previous story. There's the singing chickens, and they're all dressed up in different costumes. Ken says Bart and his smart hens will entertain, and then we will have the snacks. The hens ran to Bart in the center of the boat to sing. One hen was dressed in a mailman's coat and pants. One had a toy mail sack. One was on a toy train. One had a toy blimp, and one had wing sails on. Why are the hens dressed as they are? Obviously to pay tribute to good old Ray. And there's Hick and Ray yucking it up. Bart and his hens sing and sing. Ray and the rest of the boating party enjoy the singing hens. Hick says the toys are slick and the singing less shrill than Ray's singing. Ray says, "Is Hick's tail still bent?" Hick and Ray roar and roar. Why does Ray ask if Hick's tail is still bent? Again, referring to the earlier story where Hick bent his tail. Now there's a nice fancy cake. "When can we have the cake?" Ken yelled. Joy and May say, "Is Ray peeking?" Then they bring the cake to the snack stand. The cake is in the form of a boat with Ray fishing from it. Ray says it is the best cake Norm has baked. The band is playing. Ray and May and Joy and Joan and Ken and the rest are dancing and singing and snacking. The singing is shrill. Will Hick take his Jeep to the store for pills for the shrill singers? Can Hick take his Jeep to the store for pills for the shrill singers? Not unless it's in the amphibious Jeep, I don't guess. And finally, there's the surprise, the mystery at the party. When can we see the mystery in the corner? Hick yelled. The dancing and singing end. The dancers and singers want to see what the mystery is. Ken and Joan take the mystery with the red sheets on it and stand it by the snacks. Joan said, "This is for Ray, the world's best mailman." And Ken flipped the red sheets from the mystery. "A sailboat for two, and I can take it to the lake in my blimp," Ray yelled. And the rest yelled, "Ray is the best. Ray is the best mailman." So we've gone from story 1 about Ray being the mailman, now he's the best mailman in story 15. And of course we have words for lesson 15. These copies, these will be in the Elkins library. And all of these getting more and more bigger words. Permanently, stringently, stringy, restlessness. There's Normandy, a proper noun, place in France where the Allies landed. And more words. I just want to read one little paragraph from the manual that comes with the Caldwell Reading Program. Just this paragraph here, where Ed's talking about how people progress. He says, most learners progress very rapidly in the early CRP lessons, that's Caldwell Reading Program. However, at some point, often around lesson 4, 5, or 6, their progress slows. It is not unusual for the similar sounding and appearing units ack, ache, and ick to be confused. Such a plateau effect is generally not a cause for concern, and usually rate of progress increases again around lesson 7 or 8. After completing 15 lessons, many learners take off on their own and become quite good independent readers. So, we're completing lesson 15 today, and if it makes you take off and become an independent reader, that would be fantastic. We are still going to go through and complete all 21 of the Caldwell lessons because that's how many lessons are in the program. So I hope that by now you're feeling much more confident in your reading and that you are able to do things like maybe pick up the local newspaper and read some of that, and that you can read a lot of the signs along the road and so forth. Now it's time for our regular practice session. This is practice 15. If you've got something numbered 1 to 20, we'll go ahead and get started. Okay. And our units are, again, art and S. And I'm going to write down the CY because that's that C sound, like fancy or Nancy. So I'll just keep that up here for a note to myself. Kevin?
Spell Mart.
Bart. Boy's
Mart.
name, guy's name. So we have
Mart.
to... Huh?
Mart.
Oh, Mart. I'm sorry. Not a name. Mart, like Kmart or Walmart. So we have the M sound, and we are art unit. Mart.
Add a letter to spell smart.
Already got the Mart. I just need to add a S sound in front of it. So we're going to just add an S. Smart.
Spell a boy's name, Bart.
Oh, there's the Bart. Okay, so capital B and our art unit. And there we go. I thought Bart was in there somewhere.
Spell less.
Less. Let's look at our S unit now. And we want the O sound at the front. Less.
Add one letter to spell bless.
Bless. So we have the blend, which is also in the word blend, which is BL, blah, and then S is our unit still.
Add a unit to spell blessing.
There's our ing unit from way back. So we're going to keep bless and add ing.
Spell yell.
So there's that y sound at the beginning of a word. That's our new letter today, the Y, y, and then our L unit.
Spell candy.
Candy. Well, there's our can unit, which we had just recently, a lesson or two ago. So there's can. Duh. I need a D there. And at the end of the word, the E sound comes from the letter Y. Candy.
spell fancy.
Fancy. There's our C at the end, and I have our F sound, our and unit, and then CY, fancy.
Spell and put in alphabetical order were, are, to.
Were, are, to the number. Okay, so there they are. This is an easy one because our first three letters are so different. A comes first, comma, T comes second, and W comes third. All right. Beginning and ending sounds now.
Write the letter of the last sound in clock.
Clock.
Write the letter of the last sound in canteen.
Canteen. N.
Write the letter of the first sound in yellow.
Yellow. Yeah. Yeah. Yellow. Our new letter today.
Write the letter of the first sound in messy.
Messy. That's an M. Let me fix those there. Okay.
Write the letter of the third sound in flocking.
Third sound in flocking. F. Ol. Ah. Now, just to be clear, our units there are awk and ing. And as I mentioned, Ed doesn't like to separate them, but sometimes I don't think it hurts to try to figure first, second, and third, and fourth sounds, and fifth sounds even, but we don't usually break them up.
Write a word that rhymes with start and is first alphabetically.
Okay, so here's our three art words. Alphabetically, the first one would be the B. Comes before M or S. So Bart.
Write a word that rhymes with stress and is first alphabetically.
Okay, so we got less and bless. Blessing is not really going to be a good rhyme because it has the ing on the end. So which of these comes first alphabetically? B comes before L.
Write a word that rhymes with dandy.
Dandy, and we're going to look down here. Usually our last ones, yell, candy, fancy, are so dandy, candy is dandy, and it does rhyme.
Write the letter of the sound that occurs twice in bubbles.
Bubbles. And listen to the word, bub, bubbles. We hear a B at the beginning, a B in the middle. Bubbles.
Write a two-syllable word from lesson 15, first alphabetically.
Okay. Mart, smart, Bart, less, bless, blessing. So that's a possibility. Yell, candy, fancy. So we have these three, R, two, were, one syllable. So which of these comes first alphabetically? You got B, C, and F. We're going to go with blessing because B comes before C or F. Now we're ready for reading tip number 15. And there it is. Reading tip number 15, activate the closed caption option on your television so that you can see the dialogue, the words the characters are speaking. And most TVs have this now. In fact, if you go to any local restaurants that have television that's always on, you know, I don't know why we have to have televisions in restaurants. I'd rather concentrate on my food and who I'm eating dinner or lunch with, but it's always there. But what I have noticed, and you have got to be careful about this, a lot of the shows, even the bank has this now. I go to the bank and there's a TV with a closed caption. The words aren't always occurring at the same time as the closed captioning. It's often lags behind the thing that's said. But I guess in a way that's maybe a little better because you'll hear the words slightly before and then see it on TV. Other thing I've noticed too is there's a lot of misspellings and stuff on it, depending on the station. Kevin's over there laughing. It's true, isn't it? But still, it might help some. It depends probably on the show you're watching. I think movies have it too. I think if you get DVDs, I believe it's on there too, isn't it? Some of the movies you can see the dialogue being spoken, and being written as it's spoken. So, just another thing for you to try. Okay. All right, we're on instant words. We got some new ones today. We're in the last third of our program, so we're on the last sheet. Again, all these sheets have been down at the Elkins Library for about a month now, so you may have already checked these out. We're just going to look at the first column over here, Kevin.
All right.
Okay, so now we're in the 200s to 300 now. So here's every, it does have a unit, near does not have a unit. It does have the word ear in it though. Add, food has a oo unit. Between has an E and an N, one of the longer ones. Own, there's our O unit. Below, there's the O unit again. Country, and I'll be careful with this. I had a lot of kids in school. If there's an R there, it's country. If there's no R, it's county. All right, so watch that. Watch for the R. R makes it country, makes it R country. No R, it's county. So be careful of that. Plant has the AN unit. Last, no units. School, unit. Father has the unit. Keep has the E unit. So does tree. So these are real easy ones for you. Never has the unit. In fact, we have ever here and every up here. So if you have EVER and you know that, you've easily got these two words. Start, there's today's art unit. That's a nice one to have today. City, no units, but the word it's right in the middle. And there's that Y acting as an E sound at the end, and the C is a soft C like an S sound. Earth, now here's a weird one. This is one of the times that art doesn't sound like art. It's not earth, it's earth. That's dirt on the ground, also our planet if you capitalize the E. So be careful of that one. I, this is the I that you look at out of, not the personal pronoun. Light, and this IGHT is one of our upcoming units. IT unit. Thought, no units there. I'm going to talk in a minute about this word and another word we had earlier. Head, no units. Under has the unit. Story has the unit. And saw, no units, but it's only 3 letters. I want to talk a minute about this word. These 4 words. Is that showing up okay? Oh yeah, it's good. Tough, though, through. These are problem words. And thought. You can go ahead and just take the papers off there, Kevin. I got a little dot there. Okay, is it still showing up? Yeah. They all have the OUGH. So what you have to look for is what's different. If there's just the OUGH with a T, it's tough. If you have the TH, then it becomes though. If you have a THR, now you've got through. So you got to pay attention to these consonants here. And if there's just a TH and a T at the end, T is the beginning and the T at the end is thought. So maybe those little things will help you get those 4 words straight, but they can be very confusing when you're reading. So tough, though, through, thought. Okay. All right. If you got the page up for the unit search there, Kevin, and we'll take a look at those for a minute. And this will be the last time I can leave these pages at the library because this is the page that has the whole story, and you can practice reading the whole story. When we hit lesson 16, the stories get to be too long. Ed was not able to put them all on the front and back of a page. So we'll just do a couple units. S, Now notice this word here, mystery, has the Y second there, and an E at the end, or the Y sound at the end, the E sound. And MYST is mist. Art and party. N, O, A, Ain, N, Oi, Ed, Ip, E, and, Ake, A, Est. I like the word yesterday. It's nothing but units and 2 single letters. E, Ed, N, Oi, Ing, Or, An, O. Notice I'm saying the unit, I'm not spelling it out. Can, Ake, M, O, Ing, E, End, N. Can, O, Ing, Art, Or, M, O, An, Ed. Il, E, Ed, Or, An, E, A, An, Or, Art, N, A, and, Oi, Ak, and Ak, Art, and Ing. And that's enough. Look at all those units. You know, and Ed's using a controlled vocabulary here to make sure he makes use of the units to help you get them reinforced and embedded in your brain. So probably take you half an hour or 45 minutes to do the whole front and back of the page, if you're so inclined. Go ahead and erase that. I'm not, or go ahead and take that page off, Kevin. There's the unit search, and Our units again are art and S, so you can go through your alphabet and see what words you can make if you like to do that sort of thing. We have Bart, cart, dart, Bess, girl's name, less, mess, Loch Ness, and so forth. All right? You do that at your leisure, just to play with words, because that's what reading really is. It's kind of like word play. All right? So we've done the search, make a word, and we're going to write the song now. If we can put the Let It Be back up there for a minute. Okay. And you can slide it over just a little ways to the left, because I'm going to actually write out to the side here today. All right. All right. Okay. So. And again, why are we doing this writing? Because writing helps you to read better. And I'm going to put Anne Paul McCartney underneath here. Now I'm going to go to cursive. The kind of writing that makes a lot of people feel like cursing, I guess. Notice I'm kind of going fast today. In a minute I'm going to slow down. Now, I told you one of the lessons to try writing with your non-dominant hand, so I'm going to try just a line with my left, and obviously I'm going slower. But this is also tremendous brain exercise, as well as being a little bit frustrating, because the world is mostly set up for right-handed people, not left-handed people. I'm sure you've heard the old joke about left-handed people being the only ones in their right minds because the opposite side of the brain contains or controls the opposite side of the body. Okay, now for my final line, I'm going to try left-hand cursive. Are we ready for this, Kevin? Wish me luck. Oh my. And it's actually kind of, I'm getting, if you notice, I'm sort of getting a negative, a left-hand slant here too.
It's a Kevin slant.
Yeah, Kevin's lefty, isn't it? Aren't you, Kevin?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're the only person in this room who's in his right mind right now. Jerry, you're a righty, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not too bad. Okay. So you can write fast, you print, cursive, using right hand, left hand. You know, mess around with it. Play games with it. That's what the words are for. Okay? Now it's time for our technology segment. I better move this. Actually, I think the left hand cursive is almost as good as my right hand. Maybe not. All right, I'm going to show you the Kindle today. All right. And this is something, it's a present my wife got me a couple birthdays ago. There's the man, by the way. When the Kindle was asleep, it always usually has a picture of an author on it. And there's the man, Mark Twain. And if you notice, it says slide and release the power switch to wake. Okay. So we'll hit the power switch down here. Wake it up. And this is my main menu. I've got, these are items that I've downloaded. There's a user's guide here. And here's the books that I've downloaded. The Partly Cloudy Patriot by Sarah Vowell. I'll be reading a selection from her next week. One of my favorites, I'll Mature When I'm Dead by Dave Barry. My clippings, I'm not even sure what that is. The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne, which I downloaded for $0.00. It's a welcome thing there. That's just, you get that when you get the Kindle. Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, another of the classics that you can download for free. Most of the classics cost you nothing to download. Dictionary of English is built in. This is a book by Dimitri Martin. My daughter got me that. There's Frankenstein, also a free one. And then here's the page you just had. Dracula was free. Player Piano, I think I paid maybe 99 cents for. And The Gilded Age Complete by Mark Twain might have been a 99-cent one. Okay, so I'm going to go back. And then we want to hit Home. No, I want to hit Menu. I wanted to show you something today. We're going to go down. I've got a little arrow key here. I don't know if you can see it. It's right down here. There's a 4-way arrow key. I'm going to go down to Settings. Okay. And that's not where I wanted to be either. Let me go back home. And I'll just pick, Kindle Users Guide is what I wanted. I'm sorry. Yeah. Now, notice that the print is larger here. There's a key that you can push, and I can change the size of the print. Like if my eyes are feeling really bad that day, and then you just push enter. Now look how big the print is. Now, to turn on text-to-speech, follow these steps. Now, what text-to-speech is that not only can you download books on it, but most of the books that you download can be read aloud. The machine itself reads you the book. Now, it doesn't have a cursor or a guide where it has a finger moving like we've been doing, and Kevin and I here, but it reads the book that's there, so if you can find where they are, you can have it read aloud and you can follow along. Let me see if I can get it working here. It says press the AA key. I want to go down to text-to-speech and turn it on.
Text-to-speech. Follow these steps. Press the text key. Use the 5-way to navigate down so that the text-to-speech option is underlined. Press the 5-way to select Turn On. In a few moments, you will hear your content spoken aloud. You can either listen to it through the Kindle's external speakers or plug in earphones into the headphone jack. By default, content is spoken with the male voice, but using the 5-way, you can select a female speaking voice. You can also slow down or ink.
Okay, and I just shut her off so you can see. That's the female voice. I didn't like the male voice that much. So there's text-to-speech, and there's changing the text size. I'm going to make it back a little smaller here. I've got to go back up to there. Oh, wait. I'm stuck on text-to-speech here. Well, for now, we're going to shut that off and move on. I want to do the special reading for today. We're coming into the Lenten season, the season of Easter for most Christian religions. So I found this little old thing I got, I think, from a teacher's magazine years ago. It has principal religions of the world, but that's not what I'm concerned with so much. What I want to show you is one of the things I used to have my kids memorize at the beginning of the school year every year was the Golden Rule. And I think it's interesting, they point out it's true in all faiths. So here we have Brahmanism. This is the sum of duty. Do not unto others which would cause you pain if done to you. From the Mahabharata 5:15-17. Buddhism. Hurt not others in ways that you yourself would find hurtful. Udana Varga 5:18. Confucianism. Surely it is the maxim of loving kindness. Do unto others what you would not have them do unto you. Or excuse me, do not unto others what you would not have them do unto you. From Analects 15:23. Taoism. Regard your neighbor's gain as your own gain, and your neighbor's loss as your own loss. The Tao Shang Ken Ying Pien. Zoroastrianism. That nature alone is good which refrains from doing unto another whatsoever is not good for itself. Dadistan Idinik 94:5. Judaism. What is hateful to you, do not to your fellow man. That is the entire law. All the rest is commentary. From the Talmud, Shabbat 31a. Christianity. All things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, do ye even so to them. For this is the law and the prophets. Matthew 7, verse 12. And finally, Islam. No one of you is a believer until he desires for his brother that which he desires for himself. From the Sunnah, courtesy of Elizabeth Poole. So there's your serious message for the Easter season. Now here's another one I dedicate to all my friends in the teaching profession. It's kind of a neat little lesson. Somebody gave this to me years ago and I hung on to a copy of it. It's a lesson. Then Jesus took his disciples up the mountain, and gathering them around him, he taught them, saying, Blessed are the meek. Blessed are they who mourn. Blessed are the merciful. Blessed are they who thirst for justice. Blessed are they who are persecuted. Blessed are they who suffer. Be glad and rejoice, for your reward in heaven is great. Then Simon Peter said, do we have to write this down? And Andrew said, do we have to turn it in? And James said, does spelling count? And Philip said, will this be on the test? And Bartholomew said, what if we don't know it? And John said, the other disciples didn't have to learn this. And Matthew said, when do we get out of here? And Judas said, what does this have to do with real life? And the other disciples likewise. Then one of the Pharisees who was present asked to see Jesus' lesson plan and inquired of Jesus his terminal objectives in the cognitive domain. And Jesus wept. Author unknown, Notre Dame, 1988, July. So, yes, one of those things that most people in the education field get the joke. Actually, anybody who has the slightest inkling about what's going on in classrooms these days would get the humor to it. Yes, you need Let It Be, right?
Yeah.
What did we do there?
Yeah, it's probably...
No, they're on the floor. It's right there.
No, the music was over here. I think it's underneath the...
Oh, a good copy. Sorry about that. Okay. All right, so we'll let you go. Close out with the same song we started with, Let It Be. Hope that the lessons are helping you. One thing I'm going to ask this time, this is lesson 15. We're just over the 2/3 of the way mark. And Jerry and I and Kevin have been talking. We've been doing these now for several months. And if you know somebody who is being helped by these programs, or if you are somebody who's finding these helpful to you in learning to read, we'd appreciate if you just give us a call or stop by the library downtown and let them know. I'm going to put my phone number up here, actually. Put a phone number. You can call me at 304-940-1282. What's the number? What's your number, Jerry, at the studio there?
304-704-2758.
2758. Now, we don't want to invade anybody's privacy or embarrass anybody or anything, but what we would like to know is if we are reaching some people who need help with the reading. That's the main, the reason we're doing this is to help people learn to read, particularly adults. There's a lot of adults out there still, I think the figure is 20% of adults in this country, not just this county, the country of the United States, are functionally illiterate. So we're just trying to help people who would like to get a leg up on literacy. All right, so you can call either of those numbers. You don't need to identify yourself. You can just, if you call me and say, "Hey, I just want to let you know it's helping," that's all I need to know. I'm not going to ask, "Well, who is this?" or anything like that. I would just like to know if we're being helpful to someone. All right, so there's the numbers. 304. They're both 304s. Jerry's 704-2758. Mine's 940-1282. So there they are. Actually, you can find mine in the paper. I have an ad for piano tuning anyhow. It's in the Daily Intermountain right now anyway. So there we go. And we'll let it be at that. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. I almost forgot, of course, thanks to Dr. Ferris and Randolph County Board of Ed for providing the facility, Dee Roth for letting us use her room, and Richie Carr for letting us use the building here too. We'll see you at lesson 16. Have fun reading.